Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Friday early evening episode of Ted's Booster with me, your most gracious host, Ted. It is currently 6:33 on the 3rd of July 2020, so I hope I am finding you all today in a good state of mental, financial and physical well-being, and if you aren't, I hope things do get better for you soon, and I hope we're all able to get back to some sense of normalcy just generally as soon as possible. Now, last night I didn't get a lot of sleep. In fact, I stayed up pretty much the whole night. I think I was just a bit overly wired. Maybe I had too much caffeine too late in the day. So I figured for today's episode of Ted's Booze Cellar, and in order to start off the drinking of the weekend on, a relatively light sort of foot, ease ourselves into the gist of things, considering I didn't get much sleep last night, I'm going to go for a relatively weak-ish IPA. I'm going to be going for the Metroland Session IPA by TwoTribes. Now, some of you who have been watching this show for a while may remember that I once reviewed the draft version of Electric Circus, which was an APA made by TwoTribes. TwoTribes is the name of the brewery in question. Now, I remember I quite liked the draft version of Electric Circus. I thought it was pretty good. It had some really nice citrusy tones to it, like a lot of IPAs do, or APAs as well. And it says here, Metroland is a light-bodied and easy-to-drink IPA with a citrusy aroma of orange peel and papaya. Papaya is an interesting one, because usually with just generally the large majority of IPAs and APAs, you generally get a lot of citrusy flavours, so the fact that they're mixing in papaya there is quite interesting. I hope it doesn't overpower the other flavours too much, because I love APAs and IPAs, but they do have a tendency sometimes to be brewed with too many hops and barleys and wheats and different flavours in there, and it kind of makes everything a bit confusing and messy. So, yeah, it's only 3.8% alcohol volume, and I got this for $2.29 from the Wine Barrel on Western Road in Hove. So, I think it's pretty reasonable for an APA of this size, so, yeah. I quite like the sort of outlandish, colourful nature of the design of the can, so I'll give that an 8 out of 10. It's very handsome. Then let's give ourselves a good sniff to hopefully give ourselves a good first impression. Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, I can definitely smell the papaya in there. It's got a sort of tropically sort of smell along with the citrusy tint, so yeah, very pleasant smell. 9 out of 10 for that. But just before we taste it, quick palate cleanser of water. And bottoms up. See, the thing is, because it mentioned it had papaya in it, I was a bit worried that the flavour would be a bit too muddled and confused, but generally speaking it's a very clear, just sort of straightforward taste. You've got like the standard just general IPA taste throughout, overlaid with a bit of the usual sort of citrusy tint that you find in a lot of IPAs and APAs. And then there's this interesting little mangoey, papaya-y taste underneath, but it's like very smooth and it's like not too overpowering. The flavour is really well balanced in this. None of like the three individual flavours or any of the sub-flavours that are part of it clash with each other, so that's quite nice. None of them are too weak or too overpowered. That's very good. It's very smoothly brewed as well. Like, the texture is really nice. I do feel like with some IPAs and APAs, they bulk up so much on the citrusy aspect of it that it basically feels like you're drinking lemon juice. Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with that, but it doesn't make for necessarily the most pleasing beer drinking experience. So I've got to say, as well as the flavour, the texture is really smooth, and the finish as well is quite like pleasant and light as well. Like, it just goes down and you get even this strange little creamy texture to the finish, which is really pleasant. It just ties the flavour all together really nicely. So yeah, this is probably one of the best session IPAs I've tried ever, really. It's really, really nice. I just wish this was more readily available in other shops as well, but I'd be more than happy to go out of my way to get a few cans of this again, just for myself. So, and I think $2.29 is probably about right for what I want to pay for this. I mean, I'd probably only get 2 or 3 at a time for myself, but I think for the price that it is, that is a very, very good price for like such a nice, light, refreshing IPA. And I would definitely recommend serving this chilled. Probably, to be honest, preferably in a glass, but still, I mean, in and out of the can, it's not that bad. The metallic tinniness that you find in a lot of canned IPAs isn't too prevalent here, so that's definite plus. Yeah, this is actually one of the best IPAs I've had ever, really, actually. It's really good. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Really, really solid. There is just like tiny little aspects of it that are bringing it back from being a 10 out of 10, but really, honestly, I fully rate this. Definitely a buy. Would recommend for not just IPA drinkers, but for most, if not all, beer drinkers, and hopefully you guys will agree with me. If you didn't, though, let me know why. But yeah, 9 out of 10. Would buy again. Definite, definite, definite. So yeah, if you guys like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, or you may have agreed or disagreed with any of my ideas in this video, then please feel free to leave your suggestions and thoughts in the comments section below. And if you want to check out any of my other online activities, I'll leave the links to my social medias and other YouTube channels in the video description below as well. But as always, have fun, stay safe with whatever you're doing, drink responsibly, know your limits, wear a mask when you're going out to the shops. And I've been Ted, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye for now.